How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. Today, it has finally arrived. Yes, today is the day that I thought that the Renegade was ready to be revealed. After many months of work, extensive bug fixing and various hurdles that had to be alleviated, we have arrived at a near conclusion. And I say near because it's not 100% finished yet. There's still a bit of testing that needs to be done. However, I do have a time-lapse for you guys. It's not completely finished. This time-lapse is not all of it, but it's a good amount of it. So I'll show you guys that, and I'll catch up with you afterwards. And there we are. This is the final product. The fruit of my labours, and, well, almost. As I said earlier, there's still some testing that needs to be done, and that's, in some regard anyway, the purpose of this video. But I'll explain that in a bit. But it feels so amazing to have this thing finished and finally able to present it to you guys. Because I have wanted to show this so long that I've been like sharing photos on social media and stuff like that. I've so wanted to show it, but I didn't want to show it in its entirety because that would just basically give away the reveal. But finally this thing is built. But there is a lot of information about this thing and a lot of things to sort of present to you guys. So I wrote a little script. So if everything sounds a bit dodgy and out of character in the next 10 minutes, that's why. Firstly, this is the original plans I had for the Renegade, and if I've done my job correctly, you should be able to notice the resemblance somewhat. If I overlay the finished product over the top, then you'll notice that it doesn't exactly fit the proportions, and if I edit the blueprint, however, to match the final form, again, it's not a massive difference, but noticeable once you see it. I'm gonna run through a few of the basic, and in some cases ridiculous, specs for this thing, primarily for gloating reasons, because some of these still stagger me, honestly. The Renegade, first off, is 1,760 meters in length, which makes it roughly the size of 17 football pitches, or soccer, for you Americans out there. The dry weight of this thing, when no fuel or resources are loaded on board, comes to around 25,000 tons, which is pretty light, especially when you compare it to the half-built Renegade Mark I from the original Renegade video I made last year. That one came to 438,000 tons. That's a pretty significant difference. However, when this thing is loaded with fuel, it currently comes to around 37,500 tons, which does make it a bit more portly, I guess you could say. But that's still incredibly light in the shadow of the Mark I version. That being said though, it could still change, however, as it's still in its testing phase, technically. The engines, as I thought it was worth noting, are stupendously powerful. They have been edited though, I should state that first off. But the VTOL engines collectively push out 1.5 million kilonewtons of thrust. Which, yes, is technically cheating, as I've edited them beyond what they were supposed to produce, but I found that the fuel usage scales with the thrust, meaning the only benefit to me doing this was to keep the number of engines down, which in turn kept the part count down. Meanwhile, the engines that push this thing forward, located at the rear of the Renegade and on the external mounts that also house the VTOL engines, they, when activated, together can put out just over 2.6 million kilonewtons of thrust. In a vacuum, mind you, but that's still huge. As well as collectively guzzling through 210 carborundum fuel, 2,100 ore, and 31,600 electric charge a second. A second?! If anyone's played around with the carbonite mod and are familiar with carborundum, you'll know that it's extremely difficult to get it, let alone mine it. And yet this behemoth, merely travelling forward, mind you at full power, without the VTOL engines active, will require 12,600 carborundum every minute. And, well, you guys can work out the ore and electric charge equivalent if you want, but yeah, I think it's fair to say that this thing is a fairly thirsty beast. The last few details are the fact that this thing has 5 large hangar bays that may be possible to hold multiple spacecraft in a single hangar, but I still need to do some experimenting with that, so we'll see. It also has extremely powerful and long-range transmitters on the top of the bridge, and it has the capability of scanning planets for some materials. I'll probably expand its scanning capabilities in the future, but again, testing needs to be done. Lastly, I've edited the command modules and crew quarters, which are broken currently. The BDIs on the bridge are some of the command modules, but the primary command module is the central cupola in the middle of those two BDIs, I guess you could say. Crew quarters, however, even though they're currently broken, are these large windows you can see down the length of the Renegade's hangar bay. Honestly, I could go on forever about this thing's features and the capabilities I plan to add to it, so you'll probably hear the odd snippet of information about it throughout the uses of it in the future. The last thing I thought I'd share, which initially I wasn't going to share, are the Mark II and the Mark III versions of the Renegade, which pretty much started the whole difficult birth situation. Now, these were never fully completed, as I came to the realization they wouldn't work before I finished them, luckily. The Mark II version, which was the one I really tried to match the original blueprints, almost to the letter as it were. I was extremely happy with this one when it came to matching the original design, until I found out that it took almost 32 minutes to load in the editor and in the world, every time, without fail, and then just to add insult to injury, it would often explode, which just made it unusable. I later found out that it was the sheer number of welded parts I had used to make up its structure. Even though it technically only equaled one part when you welded them all together, that's what was causing the problems. In hindsight, probably a bad idea to use this many parts, but this particular version was made up of 2,607 parts. Yeah. I understand that was a few too many now, but I welded them into a single part, which I thought would work, and it does to some degree, as the Mark IV version is also using welds, but to extremes, things start to fall apart. This version, however, was the closest to the blueprint, so it had that going for it. The Mark III version should start to look a little bit more familiar, as it was the first version to be built with part count in mind, whilst still trying to achieve the original look I had came up with on the blueprints. At the time I finished editing this one to then go on and build the Mark IV version, it contained 340 parts. It was at this point I realised I could build it quicker and simpler without changing too many of the details, and that would then become the time lapse you saw earlier of me building most of the Mark IV version. A little bit of extra trivia for this version, which I know some people saw it. In the last Operation Death video, at the end of the video, after like the end title screen and what have you, you would have seen this one teased in a little cinematic I filmed, as I thought it was going to be the final version. Unfortunately, I couldn't have been more wrong. So, with that stuff out of the way, what's next? Well, as you may already know, in the previous episode, I launched the HOG, a command-based maneuvering craft of sorts, which is already sitting pretty on Minmus, waiting for the rest of the crew and supplies to be ferried up there. However, the engines I used to build the HOG's VTOL system, they're not updated anymore, so I'm gonna have to replace them. Not sure what with, but we'll worry about that later. Anywho, then I realised this was a perfect opportunity to test the Renegade for a maiden space mission test thingamajig. The mission/test today is pretty much as follows. 1. Make sure that the Renegade can actually make it to space in the first place. Fingers crossed on this one, because I've done some testing where that's concerned, and if it doesn't work, I'm gonna look like a massive knob. Second, then we'll try and land this massive behemoth of a thing, hopefully on the same frozen lake where the HOG is currently. And if that fails, hopefully the lake next to it. These lakes should realistically be big enough to hold this thing in them without it hitting either side of the canyon they're both in. But we'll see. Honestly, I still haven't got used to the size of this thing. Thirdly, once landed, we'll want to move the HOG to the main ramp of the Renegade and professionally escort it inside, ready for transport back to Kerbal, doing my best not to blow it up. And finally, we'll return to Kerbal and re-enter the atmosphere with the whole Renegade to test if it can hold up against re-entry, which will be fairly important if this thing is supposedly going to land on planets in the future. And with all those super easy tests that I'm sure will go swimmingly, I think we're ready to go. Oh boy, I'm worried. Alright, so here we go. I'm going to be quite systematic about this because I am worried about this going wrong. But I love the interior of this thing. Look at that! Ah! Stop beeping! Why is it beeping? Oh, is it because I'm moving? Yeah, this thing has kind of a problem where it moves along the ground even though I'm not meaning to do anything. See, it kind of rotates. I don't know why. Again, a lot of things broken with this. But we have Jeb in here. We have Bob. Sugrid. That's a weird name. And oh, you've got an even weirder name. You'll notice that there's no plumes. That's kind of because they're bugged at the moment. They only worked in the cinematic. But at the moment, they kind of like lag the game so much. Like, it's just not worth having them. So, if you don't see any plumage coming out of the engines, that's why. Right. So, to get this thing to work, we need to turn on throttle-controlled avionics and normal SAS. Make sure none of this thing's settings are doing anything. And then, now throttle. Yes. No. No, 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 no. Don't do that. This mod is my enemy. It's my enemy, and I envy it. Because it does everything for me, but it also does everything to try and ruin me. And gear up. Oh, yes. Of course, that doesn't make a cool sound either, which is so annoying. Something else is probably jumping out at you. It does not take off how it did in the cinematic. It would be cool if it took off that way, but so ridiculously hard, and if I try and make this thing go forward at any sort of speed right now, the entire thing just sort of snaps in half. And then I ping off into space at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Actually, faster than that. I end up going faster than the speed of light, so, yeah. How are we doing in the command bay, boys? I want to add cameras to this thing, like those tiny little IVA cameras. I want to add them so I can, like, click cam and then I can see inside the cargo bay or whatever. Not that there would be much to see, because all of the aircraft that are going to go in here will be in these things. These things are basically hangars, but they're from a mod which basically stops it so you don't dock things together and they all become one part. It literally unloads those vehicles that you put inside these hangars, so you don't end up with more lag and that sort of thing. We're at 85,000 meters, I nearly said feet, going 73 meters a second. That's another big problem. This thing looks so anticlimactic because it's so huge. We could be going like 150 meters a second, which is really fast in normal aircraft. But in this thing, it looks like you're going like a snail because it's 1,700 meters long. So 150 meters a second, you only cover about this much distance. Right, so I haven't flown this thing in a long time, and I think it was about 150,000 meters we then start the external engines to go forward, which are these ones. Go. Oh, that sounds cool. It'd be even cooler if there was some visual effect there, but there isn't. I want to try and fix that. I don't know exactly how to fix that, but it's something that I'll look into. Oh yes, we're going 230 meters a second. What happens if I activate these external rear ones? Oh, even more! More speed! What about the Bicetral? These ones have plumes, because these always had plumes. That gives me, like, no more. Wait, what? How powerful are these? Very powerful. It just doesn't make a difference. Okay. Oh god, oh god, oh god. I ain't got Kerbal Engineer. Where are we? 80... Okay, I want to go higher than that. About 125 I'll be happy with. Oh god, we're going to reach that really quickly. Oh god, stop! Silence. How are we in here, boys? Oh, I love it when it's just all quiet and in space. We're all just sitting up here, admiring the view. Oh, yeah. Oh, nice hat. You look like Buzz Lightyear. Ah. Oh. Oh, these are all the action. I can activate everything from here. Oh, don't do that! You know what? We've got time. Let's have a little fly about in here, like I did in the last one. But this one's going to obviously be cooler. Let's get Jeb out. Transfer crew. Now, I've got tiny little hatches all over this thing. For instance, there's one here for an extra planetary launch pad thing, which I haven't got working yet. And I've got one in here, which is inside the hangar. We're going to go in here. In your pop. Oh, yes. Oh, look at this. Oh, yeah. You would not want to get sucked up into that fan, would you? It's massive. It's like you could fit every Kerbal from the damn planet inside this single fan. Well, maybe not, but... Look at it. I just can't wait to have, like, a spaceship come flying through here. Because that's something I've still got to do. Like, I completely forgot that halfway through building this thing. Was I still have to build all the special aircraft that have got to go in this thing. Which this thing is basically the mother base for. Like, it's going to hold all of those primary craft. I built one, which is the Hog. But I've got to build, like, all the scout ships and stuff like that. Oh, I've got these... I don't know if I've mentioned this already. I imagine this video is going to be quite inconclusive from here on out. But I'm not sure if I talked about these. I have these winches in case I end up on a planet where they can't climb up this ramp or something. And the same at the front. There's one over there to get up the main door. In case I have an aircraft that can't make it up it, then I can attach a winch to it and drag it up the hill. See, little things. I thought of everything. We are now outside. Jesus. As I say, when you get in space, this thing, when you're driving this thing, it just looks like any other thing. It just looks like it's tiny. But then you realise that it's massive compared to him. There's the moon. I don't know how big this thing's going to be on Minmus, because I know Minmus is tiny. Like, it's a few, well, it's probably a fair few kilometers, maybe 20 kilometers wide? I don't know, I'm guessing. I shouldn't say that thing because everyone's just going to correct me. They're just going to go on the wiki and look it up and be like, oh, I just knew that off the top of my head. Something else I've just thought about is what if this little guy runs out of EVA fuel? Because this thing's so huge, you could probably run out of EVA fuel for flying around it a bit, just a tiny bit too much. Yeah, that could be a problem. And then I'll have Kerbals floating off in space. Oh, please stop! Jeb! That's it, that's it. Use the Renegade as a brake. That'll work. Okay, after that almost calamity, let's just get to Minmus. I see you, Minmus. I'm coming to you, you little git. I just hope I can land you on it. Or I can land this on you. That sounds strangely erotic. Okay, so I've skipped ahead a little bit. And now we're in kind of a pissed orbit around Minmus. It's kind of a skewed orbit. I don't know if I could actually... Oh, actually, no, that's kind of right. Because when that sort of eventually turns around... Because I do not want to land when it's dark. When that comes around here, I might be able to swing down on top of it. You know what? It's not pissed. It was exactly calculated. Are we going to hit the canyon? Oh my god, have I actually, like, calculated this perfectly? I think I have. I actually have. Wow. It's going to come down exactly where that big silo was. The big fuel silo thing that I built the hog here on. I'm at... Oh god. Okay, that's quick. Slow down. Okay, this is where it gets nerve-wracking. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I don't know what to do. Retro. We want retro. We want to slow down. Oh, we easily fit inside this cat. What was I so worried about? Oh, God. Slow down, please. Please. Okay. 120. Oh, we're easily slowing down. Whoa. This is fine. I'm not pooing my panties just yet. How much electric charge? Oh, my God. I'm so nearly out of electric charge. Because the carborundum engines use electric charge as well. I think. I should know, I said it earlier. That's it, slow down. Gear! Those ones just pop out. 20 meters a second. 15. We're coming down. And we've landed. We've bounced. Oh god, we have bounced. Yes, 2.5. We're going like no speed at all. 0.9. That's even better. Okay. Now I should be able to activate this thing. This is what's called... Well, it's called Air Park. Basically, it freezes all the physics, like you do in Time Warp. So it stops things exploding when you land them. And it also brings them to a halt. So if I activate this now... And check... Yeah, unpark. Okay, so this little tab thing doesn't actually work. Or not at least on this version. So now I should be frozen in place, where it says 0. We are down! I am so amazed I did that. Oh, just look at that. Look at that. Look at that fuel silo. That fuel silo, if you remember from the previous episode, is huge. It's massive. I mean, it's a B9 thing. So it's massive. And then this thing just incredibly dwarfs it. Right, let's open the front door. See, this is where I'd want those cool external camera things. Because I could have a camera of, like, the front door, and then I go... I think it's number 6. Yeah, there you go. You can see the ramp coming down. And the ramp comes down. Ah, yeah. It doesn't actually touch the ground. Well, because of how high it is off the ground. So I've modified these to have deploy limits. So if I think it was 83. Oh god, we're falling. We're falling. We're pitching over. That's fine. I've tested this before, so I'm not as scared. I think it was 83, and then it hits the ground and it stays there. Oh, now you see that's not low enough. Is that touching the ground? Oh, who knows? Let's just stay where we are, and let's get out and go grab the hog. Oh, look at that! Oh god, that freaks out. Oh, is that because I'm in like that first-person mod? Oh, well, that's kind of a bug. I might not be able to use first-person that much with this thing. But I am Jeb. I literally am him. I'm seeing through his eyes. Oh, this is cool. I like this. Oh, God. Whee. No, let's not do gravity. Stop. Ugh. If you haven't seen that film, you're going to be kind of confused. If you have, you know what I mean. Any moment now, this thing's cloaking effects from the cinematic are going to come into play. This is why I added it, because obviously it's weird that something this huge just disappears. It's like it pulls like the best magic trick in the world. It's not going to disappear, is it? There we go. There, now it disappeared. Didn't say do it on cue, you bastard. No, you did it. But look at that. It's now invisible. You cannot see it. You can still see that, though. What is that? That is the fuel silo thing, isn't it? Oh, God. What did I do? Oh, is it because all of this stuff's come into view? There's the hog. I see you. Oh, it is the silo. It just looked really elongated when I had the camera like that. Right, let's go get the hog. Alright, guys. Load up into the hog. We are going home. Because I'm going to give this thing some upgrades. I'm thinking of, well, one, changing this thing over to carborundum. Which is kind of stupid because, you know, I'm going to have to use most of the carborundum for the mothership. But this would be much more fuel efficient with carborundum. As well as the fact that I want to maybe add tracks to it instead of these stupid wheels. Okay, so I've got Jeb and Valentina in here. However, I don't have Bill in here. Or Bob. Whatever one was already here on Nimbus. Because he's over in the extractor at the moment. And I can't be bothered to go get him because I'm too lazy. So, we're going to leave him here. We're not going to be too long. So he'll be fine. And we're just going to go home with Valentina and Jeb. Let's just hope when this thing respawns, it doesn't go horrifically wrong, shall we? Because it might do. Oh, the fuel silo just popped into view. Renegade, are you going to reveal yourself from your cloaking? Oh my god, how close do I have to get to this thing for it to appear? Oh, there it is. Oh god. Okay, the game recovered. Core overheating, shutting down. What core? Oh, the reactor core. Yeah, I put on the reactor core to the end. Well, this thing has like an onboard reactor to try and recharge its batteries somewhat. I need to think about slowing down. Oh god, I really can't stop. Please! Or at least miss it. I'll be alright with that. I'm still going 28 meters a second. I can't stop! I'll be back momentarily! Jeb! This is really bad! Oh god, I've got no RCS or anything. Oh, this is really bad. This is bad. Am I going to have to reset? Look. Please don't make me reload the quick save. No. He's loving it. Oh, shut up. Oh, that's why I can't drive in IVA. My ears bleed. Oh, please. Please. No. More thrust. More thrust. We'll be back again in a minute. It was all going so well. Listen, I know you want to be on your damn roof. Hang on, let's put the landing gear out. Because the wheels have far less surface area. So maybe this will work. Yes, yes. That's perfect. Stay like that. It actually righted itself. That was gracefully done. Okay, and now we've got to go back. Alright, well I'm back from round 2. I am severely more handicapped this time though, because 2 of my wheels have decided not to work properly. As you can see, they're slightly raised off the ground like a dog lifting its paw. They don't work. I don't know what's wrong. Okay, let's line ourselves up. I've only ever done this with tiny vehicles. I have never ever attempted it with this thing. Oh god, am I going to hit the ramp? I'm going to hit the ramp! We're fine. That's it, just... That's it, rub your face up against it. Get a feel for it. Yeah, that's it, just... Please, I know the gravity is so useless on this planet, but it's working with me and against me right now. You can't do both, that's not fair, you can't pick favourites. Why does it just love bouncing? Are you really that happy to be going home? Just stop bouncing. Uh-oh. What happened? Something exploded. What exploded? Oh, God's sake. Hog! It took me like 5 minutes to get you through this stupid corridor, and now you change your mind and want to stay? Okay, so, I went away for a little bit, and I also turned on time warp and the alternators on these engines, and I have recharged a lot of my electric charge, which is good. And also, the handicap got fixed. I don't know how that got fixed. It was probably just a bug when I don't know what I did. Load to save? I don't know. This is where tracks would be really useful for this thing. Oh my god, I am running down my electric charge so quick. Please get to the top. I'm using all my electric charge for the SAS module thing, because it's really needed if I want this thing to go straight. We are in the central tunnel. We are halfway through. We're halfway in. And now we have to go down a giant ramp. Oh boy, this could go badly wrong. I need like little rovers that can like go about in this thing so you can like maneuver things while you're in here. Especially when you're on planets, because walking will take forever. The jetpack won't work. And so I'm going to need like little rovers that can go around inside here. And like little golf caddies. That'd be awesome. Okay, I want to go off this lip really slowly. Where are we? We're going 1.8 meters a second. Oh god. I love that. You can just see out the window. Oh, whoa. Oh god, we're going to go... Ugh. It's because the front end is really far over already. Look, we're already like way over it. Oh god, we're going over. I know, you can beep at me all you want, but it ain't going to change what's about to happen. Slow down. Oh god, don't do that. Don't do that. I'm going to go arse over tit. No, 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 no. Can I turn the lights on? Ah, I can see now. I mean, I could always see, but it's more official now. We're fine. We're actually fine. Okay, now I want to stop it. SAS, allow me, help me, help me. I know you haven't got much left in you. You got very little left in you, but I need you to help me here. I hope this hangar's big enough to allow this thing to dock inside it. I think I remember testing that, but it was a long time ago that I tested it. So I think it will be enough. Cannot accept a moving vessel. That's fine, I can stop it. I can do that. All I hope is that you're big enough to let me put it in it. I mean, it fits, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's got enough capacity. Cannot accept an accelerating vehicle. Was that it? Yes! And that's it! It's docked. It is now a part of the Renegade, and we can unload it from in here. What's that? Initialization error. Check configuration. I don't know. Errors everywhere. Doesn't matter. I don't care. I'm quite pleased with that. That actually worked. That was a successful test, apart from where it went wrong about 4 times. But no matter. Let's bring the doors back up. Turn those engines off. Turn these ones on. And we should be ready to leave. Alright, so lift her up and punch the engines. Yes! Look at that! Oh yeah, gear up. Forward we go! To victory! Oh yes. We are leaving Minmus. Goodbye, you stupid greeny blue rock. Bill, we'll be back soon, Bill. I think it's Bill we're leaving behind. We'll see you later, dude. We're on our way. We are on our way back to Kerbal. Now, I don't know what engines I need active at the moment, but I don't think it's too many. Where's... Oh, Jeb again. He's still in the tiny little capsule somewhere, and I think Valentina and Bob are in that hangar, because I think they can be loaded into that hangar. But we're on our way. We are leaving. We are coming back to Kerbal, which is actually directly in front of us, actually. Look at that. We are now back in orbit around Kerbal. It's kind of a weird orbit, but we are in orbit. We should have, realistically, enough fuel. Yeah, we should have enough. If I'm honest, this is the bit I'm really worried about. I have done no testing whatsoever about re-entry. I have never, ever, ever tested it. So I really don't know if it even works. It should, based on the idea that it's got so much surface area, it probably will slow down before it gets anywhere near fast enough to, you know, explode. So, I imagine it won't even need heat shields, especially on Kerbal, maybe Eve, I don't know. Alright, so I've waited a ton of time and used a hell of a lot of fuel to get in a very small orbit around Kerbal again. The reason I did it was because I was going to end up landing on the dark side of the planet, and I don't really fancy doing that with a aircraft that's 1,700 meters long. So I want to try and land on a flat surface, and the only place I know where it is flat on this planet is at the Space Center, which is actually right behind us right now. It's over there. I see you, Space Center. Oh wait, that means we've missed it. Oh, piss. Alright, hedge your bets, everybody. Where the hell am I going to land? I have literally no idea. Usually when people do this, I've seen it. They have like a, I don't know if it's a mod or something, but it has like a red X on the planet, and it tells you where you're going to land, depending on like your drag and what have you. I don't have that. I'm literally guessing. The Space Center is there. And this is, oh god, am I going to make it? Ooh, I might have to try and boost towards it. How much fuel have I got? Ah, yeah, now you see, that's not a lot. It looks like it's a lot, but it's really not. Oh dear, I can hear the re-entry sound. I can hear it very, 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 very faintly. Is it because am I actually falling fast enough? Oh my god, am I actually going to land on the Space Center? Oh, hang on. Where am I lined up with it? No, I'm off by miles. Oh boy. I need to go forward. Yeah, I'm going to try and boost towards the Space Center. Oh god, this could be boring. I probably ain't got enough fuel for it. Oh, are we there yet? No. We literally haven't moved. I've literally been sitting here with my eyes closed because throttle controlled avionics is doing everything for me, and we've barely moved anywhere. How is that possible? We're going 250 meters a second, and it feels like I'm going 2. Alright, I have had to put some extra fuel in this thing. It wasn't gonna have enough to make it, and I'm so close. I just want to make it. I want to prove to myself I can actually do this with a massive ship. If I can do it with this, I can do it with anything. Bing bong. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We are more than likely going to die at the end of this, because I don't think this thing likes touching water, so be prepared. Actually, I think some of them are prepared. Because where are some of the guys? Are they... Oh, look at this one! I don't think I've showed this one yet. Look at this. This guy's like really safe from re-entry, even though we didn't really have re-entry effects, but he would be really, really good in here, because he's got like the glass dome on the outside and the actual cupola itself. This is awesome. He's got his little reading material. This is like where the living quarters are. This is where you come and live and just sort of hang out. Even though you can control the entire thing from here, but it's not quite as cool as controlling it from the toilet. This is it. Final descent. I have to level out. Oh, we're going quite... This seems fast now. Like, I'm only going 38, but because I've been going... Like, it barely moved the entire time I've been doing that. This feels really fast. Oh, God. I am so worried. I hope this thing will land correctly. Please don't screw it up now. I have come too far and waited too long to screw this up now. It's twitching a bit. Oh, God. This is it. Now we're just coasting now. We're just driving along. That's all I'm trying to do now. I'm just trying to go forward. Just so I can line myself up with the space hangar. Come on. Basically, I'm ending exactly where I started. That is crazy. I'm so amazed of half the stuff I've done in this video. Oh dear. This is it. The moment of truth. Cut all engines. All engines are down. Yes! Ha ha! We are down! That's it! We are back on Kerbal. almost exactly where I started. I couldn't honestly ask for a better ending than that. I am so amazed that I managed to actually land it here. Oh jeez, this has been one hell of a journey. It has taken so long to get from the top of the atmosphere to the bottom. That has been a very, very drawn out ride. Oh, I can go sleep now. So there we have it, everyone. That was the first official test / reveal of the Renegade Mothership, a project I started over a year ago now. I apologise to anyone and everyone who has been wanting to see this thing for the longest time. Trust me when I say I've been desperate to get it functional, even at a basic level, to be able to share it with you guys. I hope this monstrosity of a thing has met or even perhaps surpassed some of your guys' expectations. It sure did surpass mine in terms of the build time, because damn, it took a long time to build. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and that's it! The Renegade has finally been born. I'll see you guys soon. Stay tuned, stay awesome, goodbye.